Welcome back guys to part 2 of our mini project. Remember yesterday we managed to draw the hierarchical network design of XY company using Microsoft Visio, and we achieved such a diagram. And we said in hierarchical network design we include 3 layers: a core layer, a distribution layer, and access layer. Okay, and for our case study there were 3 floors. As you can see, first floor, second floor, and third floor, and 8 departments. The first floor was having 3 departments, second floor was having 3 departments, and the third floor 2 departments. And as you can see in the diagram, in the first floor, see, this one is an access layer. Then in the first floor we had 3 departments: IT, research, and electrical. Then in the second floor we also add 3 departments: marketing, accounting, and finance, and the end devices. And then on the third floor we only add 2 departments, which was logistic and the store, right? So guys, today we are going to implement this diagram using Cisco Packet Tracer, right? We are going to draw the same diagram using network simulation software, that is Cisco Packet Tracer. Alright, so without any further ado, let's go to our simulation software. So guys, this is our Cisco Packet Tracer software, and this is workspace, and we want to draw an exact diagram, this hierarchical network design of XYZ company using Cisco Packet Tracer. Let's start. I said when you want to find devices, you just hover these icons. Okay, so for the case of router, it's just this one, and I encourage you to choose 2911 router. Okay, so just choose it and drop it there. Okay, and let's name it as a core router, just like this one. See, core router. And then what's remaining? We said in our case we will only have one router in the core layer, but in some cases you can implement 2 routers if you like, but in our case we will only have one router in the core layer. Okay, so the core layer is done. Let's go to distribution layer. We said distribution layer we will use layer 3 switches. And how many layer 3 switches did we use in our part 1? There were 2. Okay, if you have not watched part 1 of the project, I will leave the link on the description part. Kindly click on the link and watch on the part 1 of the project, so that you can have a full understanding of what the project entails. Okay guys, let's go to distribution layer. Distribution layer will have 2 layer 3 switches. So let's just come down here and click on the switches, and this is a layer 2 switch. Then layer 3 switch is this one. I hope you know the icon of layer 3 switch. If you have any trouble, there are classes that I've already made on the same. Kindly refer to the previous classes. So I will choose 3650, right? There should be 2. And how did we name them on the first diagram? Distribution layer 3 switch 1, distribution layer 3 switch 2. Okay, this one is distribution L3 switch 1, and this one should be, just click here, this one should be distribution L3 switch 2, just like that. Okay, So guys, we have managed to place the devices on both the core layer and distribution layer. So let's go to access layer. For the case of access layer, we said we will refer back to our case study. Okay, they need 8 departments, and each department should be assigned a switch. Okay, meaning we will have how many switches? 8 layer 2 switches. So for the layer 2 switch, just choose 2960. 8 switches. 1, 2, 3. That's first floor. The second floor also had the 3 layer 2 switches. That is second floor. Now for the third floor. For the third floor, we only add how many departments? 2 departments. So we'll use 2 switches. Just come. And it's good to name your devices, right? It's really good to give a name to your devices. So for the case of our first switch, how did we name it? We said it's access switch 1 IT. Okay, so for the case of packet tracer, I'll just say IT department, depth, like that. Then the second department was research department, then electrical department, research department, then this one is electrical department, like that. Okay, then in the second floor we had departments such as we had marketing, accounting and finance. So I'll just say this one is marketing, depth. This one is accounting department. And this one is finance department. Then on the third floor, where we had only 2 switches, 2 departments, they were logistics and store. As you can see, they were logistics and store. Okay, logistic, depth, then this one was store. Okay, we have managed to include all the switches in every department. Remember, we had only 8 departments, and we have assigned a switch to every department. As you can see in the diagram, we have 8 switches. Okay, so what's remaining, guys, is how to connect these devices using the right cables. Okay, so I'll just come here where it's written connections, just click, and for us to move very fast, I will choose this automatic. So guys, for the case of choosing connection type, I will go to automatic, because automatic really goes very fast. You don't need to choose the interface. it will choose it automatically. Okay, and you should know that when connecting same devices, you should use a crossover cable, but different devices you should use straight through. Okay, but this one will require you to select an interface through which you want to connect that cable. Okay, so automatic, click there, click here, just like that, very fast. And to ensure redundancy between the core layer and distribution layer, we must include at least 2 links between these layer 3 switches. Okay, so automatic, come, plug in there, another one, plug in there. Okay, don't worry because you're seeing this red icon. The red icon basically means that the port is shut down. By default, router interfaces are off, are shut down, so it's upon us to turn it on, right, as well as those of layer 3 switches. So let's connect distribution layer to access layer. Remember, we have connected core layer to distribution layer. So let's finish distribution layer to access layer. And you should know that in hierarchical network design, a distribution layer switch should connect to all the access layer switches to ensure redundancy. So this switch will connect to all these access switches as well as this one. Okay, so let's start. Come, plug it, again automatic. So we need to do it very fast to save time. Don't worry about the red icon, we will definitely remove them. We will go to the layer 3 switch interfaces and turn it on. Remember, they are off by default, so it's upon the network engineers to turn them on. Okay, we have finished connecting the distribution layer switch to all the access layer switch. So let's move to switch 2, distribution layer 3 switch 2. It should go to all the access layer switches. Okay, alright guys, we have managed to connect a core layer to distribution layer and distribution layer to access layer. So let's check on the diagram that we had so that you can see what's missing. Okay, we've done connection core layer to distribution layer, then distribution layer to access layer. So what's remaining basically is to connect these end devices, label that this is access layer, distribution layer and core layer, then separate the floors as seen here, first floor, second floor and third floor. Okay, so let's do this one first. Let's connect ISP first. Okay, internet service provider. So for the case of internet service provider, just come to network devices, okay, then go to cloud, right here, then choose this PT cloud, put it there, then name as ISP. Okay, then we will connect it later. There is something that I want to show you, right? Okay, the first thing that we must do, let's turn on these interfaces. See, they are off That's why here it's indicating red, 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 red. Let's turn them on. Click on the router, come to CLI, enable to privilege exec mode, then config T to configuration mode. Then how to turn interfaces on. Remember, they are shut down by default. This one is gig 00, this one is gig 01. So just click on the router again, then interface range gig 0021. Remember, this command will make the same changes to interface gig 00 and interface gig 01. Okay, hit enter. Then no shut down, just like that. This interface will turn the ports on. Okay, just hit enter. Okay, have you seen the changes? See, here's green, right? Here is still red because we have not turned on this side. Okay, don't worry about anything. Then do right to save the configuration. Remember, this is a very big project. Never ever miss to save any configuration. Then close this one. So let's go to this layer 3 switch and turn all these ports on. So before we do that, guys, layer 3 switch is different. You must power it on first. You can't enter CLI command line interface before you power it on. If you do that, you will see an error. Let's see. You see, device must be powered on. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, are you seeing this AC power supply? Drag it and plug it in there, right? So we have dragged AC power supply and plugged it here. So let me remove it again so that we can plug it again. See, this place is empty. So I will drag it and put it inside there to power the AC, to power the layer 3 switch on. Okay, so let's return to CLI. Let's give it time. It's booting. Okay, it's booting. Okay, guys, have you seen the changes? The device was initially off, so the moment we plugged in an AC power supply, it has turned up all the interfaces. As you can see, change to up state, change to state to up, change state to up. So the ports are up by default. So you can see we have green icons and orange icon. The orange icon basically indicates that spanning tree protocol is enabled here to avoid loops in a network. Whenever there is a redundancy in a network, spanning tree protocol must be enabled such that there will be no loops in the network. Okay, so what's remaining? Remember, we said we will connect ISP to the core router later because there is something that I wanted to show you. What is it? We will connect a core router to ISP using a serial link. And to connect a router using a serial link, we must enable a serial interfaces in the router. Okay, so let's just go back to the router, click on the router, go back to physical. Okay, then there's something that I want to show you. Remember, the router has been turned on. Okay, if you pay attention here, there is a power button. You turn on and off, so you can click on, click off. And we want to connect the router using a serial connection. To do that, we must turn off the router first, then insert that serial connection, then turn the router again. Okay, so guys, to turn the router off, you will see something here, around here. It's very small, but just click on it. It was on and the router has been off. Can you see here? The interfaces have turned to red, meaning they are in down state. They are shut down. The router is off. So when the router is off, we want now to include a serial interface. Come here where it's written HWIC/2T. Okay. When you click on that one, you will see down here is a Cisco 2-port serial high speed 1 interface card. Okay, serial. So just drag it and place it in that empty slot. Okay. After doing that, turn on the router again. Come and click this same place you clicked. That one. The router is on again. Okay. Okay guys, the router is booting. You will see these interfaces will turn green. Just give it time. See, it's done. So let's connect ISP to router. Using which connection? We use serial connection type, and we will choose serial, this one, DCE. Okay, I prefer this one, DCE, with the clock rate. Just click on it and come to router, and now you will see the serial interface is there. Click on that one, come to SSP and connect to serial, just like that guys. Alright guys, so what's remaining is to connect the end devices. So this one I will do very fast to save time. Okay, just like in the diagram. This one is something that everyone can do. Okay, so I will do on the first case so that everybody can understand, and in the second case and the third case I will do it very fast, because I hope in the first case you have mastered how to do it. Alright, we had a PC, server and a printer. Remember, there are many devices and we can't include them all here. Okay, we can't include all of them here, so just like a sample of them. So one PC, come and drag it here, then one printer and one server. For the first floor. Okay, so this one you place here, this one here, and this one somewhere here. This one was IT PC, PC1, let's say PC1, because there are many PCs up to 20, so this is PC1. This one IT printer 1, printer 1. This one is IT server 1, IT server 1, like that. Okay. Okay, and let's do the connection. Come to connection, then just choose automatic. Automatic really goes very fast. This one to this one, and then this one to this one, and then this one to this one. Okay, let's come to this side like this, and at least take them far a bit. Okay, like this and like that. So that one is for which department? IT department, the first floor. Okay, so the second floor. For the case of second floor and the remaining floors, I'll post the video and return when I have completed connecting the same devices as I have done in the first case. So let me just post the video. Okay guys, I have managed to connect all the end devices in every department as shown in the diagram, and I have done the naming. For example, in the store department, I have named the devices as S PC1, S printer 1, S server 1. For every department, it has specific naming system. Okay, so let's guys, okay, let's check on the diagram so that you can see what we have not done. So far so good, we have done most of the components here. So what's remaining, let's separate the layers such that this is a core layer, distribution layer and access layer. Then separate the floors, floor 1, floor 2, floor 3. Okay, so let's go back to our packet tracer. Allow me to zoom out so that you can see the complete diagram. So this is the complete diagram. This is the complete diagram so far, and what we want to do is to separate the layers. Okay, how do we separate the layers? Using the same container that we used in this diagram. Okay, just close this one, and for the case of Cisco Packet Tracer, watch out the cursor, where we'll place the cursor. Are you seeing this rectangular icon? Click on it. It will bring a dialog palette like this one. So we want to draw a rectangular shape to separate the layers. So the outline, you can use outline to have the boundaries. If you don't want it to fill the background color, it won't. Then if you want it to fill, it will fill. So for our case, we'll use a outline color of just click on select outline color and give it time, it will load. We want to separate our layers using a boundary of let's say, okay, this one. I don't know which color is this one. It has this code. So okay, click on OK, and as you can see, it has changed. And just come and place where you want to draw that palette. So this is where my core layer is. So left click and hold, okay, and drag like this one. Okay, like that one. Then for the case of distribution layer also, place it somewhere there and left click and hold, then drag. It's hanging, just give it time. Okay, then take one this on this side. Let me take it down here. Then draw for the access layer. So this one is for the access layer. Drag, give it time, it's hanging, but it will definitely do it. Okay guys, we have separated the layers. So what we are remaining with is to name the layer, if this one is access, core or distribution. As you can see, the cursor is still having that drawing. So to remove it, just press escape key. Okay guys, so to name a layer, come to this notepad. It's an icon like a note. Okay, come to this, an icon like a note. Click on it, then come to where you want to give a comment. There, say core layer. It's hanging, as I can see, but just give it time guys, it will load. Then again in distribution layer, let's say here distribution layer, like that. Okay, then access layer, access layer. Okay, okay guys, we are done separating the layers. So what's remaining, let's check on the diagram. What's remaining is to separate the floors. Okay, for the case of the floor, we'll also use a container, that's a rectangular shape. Okay, let me drag this one above here, somewhere here. Okay, so this one should be first floor, second floor, and third floor. So come to the palette, and now I want the outline color to be red or orange. Let me select orange, like that one. Okay, then come to the first floor and draw. Okay, like this. Like that, guys. Then in the second floor also you draw. You can use different outline color, but in my case I'll just use the same outline color, separate the floors. Okay, then the third floor I also draw it. It's hanging, just give it time, like that one. Then close this one and press escape key so that we can return the normal cursor. Alright, guys, so this one is first floor. Let's give it a name. Press on the note, come here and say first floor. Okay, then here is second floor, second floor. Then here should be third floor, third floor. Okay, guys, so let me take this one a bit up there, this one a bit up, somewhere there. Okay, then guys, there's something also very important that you should know. Okay, so you can see third floor, second floor. Then this cool layer, at least take it to the outline line. This one also there. There's also something that very important that you should know. Let me zoom in. At least we have a larger devices or diagram. Okay, so what I'm saying, at least this comment should have a background color. Okay, so if this is a distribution layer, it should have a background color that says this color specifically is for layers, this color specifically is for floors, and this color specifically is for departments. Okay, so for the case of layers, I'll choose which color? I will choose orange color. Okay, press on the palette, and now fill color. You come to fill color, and this one I will choose as black. Like that one. You come to select color here. You want to fill with orange, a color like that one. I don't know which color is that, but it's close to orange. So you want to feel that this should have, the layers should have orange color. Separate them. Distribution also, like that one. It's just hanging, but I hope it will do perfect on your computers. Also at the access layer you do the same. Okay, guys, so for the case of flaws I will use blue color, something close to blue. Okay, so this one is second floor, this one is first floor, and the third floor, and finally the third floor here. Sorry, okay guys, we have completed naming the devices, the floors and layers. Okay, so let's check on our first diagram to see what we are missing currently. I think we have completed everything on this diagram. And for the case of Packet Tracer, let's add something. Remember, in our case study, it said that each department should have a different VLAN. So at least we should name a VLAN number at every department. So for the case of IT department, we'll give a VLAN number of 10, research 20, going to 80. Okay, so let's start. I said if you want to give a comment, just come to this note, click on it, then come there and press there. It's VLAN 10, IT department. Say IT department, IT depth, then VLAN 10, like that. Let's try to copy this one, then click on the note, come and paste and replace this one as a research R department. Let's say it's R instead of research, then VLAN 20. We'll do configuration in the next video. Okay, so this one is switch department, electrical department should be in VLAN 30. So M depth should be in VLAN 40. Then accounting department should be in VLAN 50. Accounting A department, then finance department should be in VLAN 60. And then logistic department should be in VLAN 70. Logistic IL department should be in VLAN 70. Remember, we had 8 departments, and the requirement said each department should be in a different VLAN. So I just chose a numbering system that goes with 10, 10, 10, 10. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 80 until 80. Okay, so this one is store department. Okay guys, so I think we've done almost everything that we did here. Okay, and even added the VLAN number in every department. So guys, in our next video we are going to cover the configuration part. Okay, remember the requirement said the part 1 should be how to model the network diagram. The part 2 was to provide network topology using a simulation software such as Cisco Packet Tracer. Implementing the first diagram that we drew using Microsoft Visio. So from the fourth part, we're going to do the configuration. We're going to do the configuration, and the configuration will be only based on access layer switches and end devices, because in our class we've only covered introduction to networking, subnetting and switching. So on this project we will not include routing, okay? And when we shall have covered routing, we will complete the entire project, okay? Okay guys, let me zoom out so that you can see the entire diagram. Okay, here it is. It looks very beautiful, and it's very easy to manage. You know, when you comment something, it's really easy to manage and locate something. So this is core layer, distribution layer and access layer. In access layer we have first floor, second floor and third floor, and under first floor we had IT department, which is VLAN 10, research department having VLAN 20, electrical department having VLAN 30. On the second floor the same thing, and the third floor. Okay guys, so guys, I will show you how to export this diagram into PNG form, okay, so that you can even copy paste on your Word document. What do? Come to files, and say print, okay? Then print to file, come to print to file, okay? Where do you want to save our file? Let's go to desktop, or I have a place here called CCNA, GuruTech, then videos, then project, okay? Let's say part 2, okay, and save. Okay, it's printing. Let's just wait and go to see the folder location if we can find such diagram. Here it is guys, it's here. Our diagram has successfully been printed, and we can now copy paste to Word document if suppose we are doing documentation. Here it is guys, very beautiful, okay? Here it is guys, it's very beautiful. It's the same thing as this one, as the first diagram that we drew using Microsoft Visio, okay? Alright guys, it's the same thing as this one. See, the only difference is that in the second diagram that we drew using Cisco Packet Tracer, we included VLANs at every department, but everything remains the same. Don't worry about the colors. Alright, so guys, that marks the end of today's class, and let's meet again in part 3 of this project, that we are going to do configuration. We are going to configure these parameters. The first parameter that we will configure is basic configuration, okay, of the devices. Then assign VLANs at every department. Then configure EtherChannel. We're going to do some subnetting a bit. Then end device configuration, configure port security. I think this one will take us like 2 classes. Will take us like 2 lectures, okay? So in part 1 we will just configure number 4, 5, 6 and 7. Then the last part of our project we will do number 8, 9, 10, okay? Number 11 we will not do at this level, okay? Alright guys, so see you in the next class, and before you leave, kindly give us a support, subscribe. Just click on the subscribe button. See you again in part 3 of mini project, which is basic networking, subnetting and switching based on XY company case study. Bye.